Hi guys, Tom here. I'm finally getting around to replacing my stock shifter, and it's not because I really want to, it's because I have to. Originally when I got stock shifter, this little linkage between these two arms fell out. It appears that when it was in shipping, it had unthreaded, and when I was riding around, it just fell right on the ground. Luckily, I did find it, and I put it back in, and now it's on its third riding season. A little while ago, this linkage once again pulled apart. Did not fall and hit the street, but it became very disconnected and my shifter just swung to the ground. I was in third gear and I was away from home, so it required a lot of clutch play in order to get home. But I did make it home, and as a result, you can see I used some lock wire to hold the linkage together so that I can continue riding the bike. Well, today is the day I'm going to replace the stock shifter with an aftermarket shifter. So, let's get to it. Not a normal tool you would use to replace your motorcycle shifter, but for me, I have to snip some of these wires. Now they're nice, strong wires, so I don't expect them to give up very easily. And they have served me for quite a while. Next we'll be removing some of these nuts and bolts, and I believe there's a snap ring right behind the foot peg. So using a 10mm wrench, I'll try to remove some nuts and bolts. As you can see, the linkage doesn't hold up very well unless it's properly threaded into the arm. To bolt out, might have to use a screwdriver to spread this little gap here in order to get the arm off. I do have to use a screwdriver to spread this gap a little, and it comes off. As you can see, the bolt actually rides in this channel right here. That's why it had to be completely removed, so that the bolt is not blocking the removal of this little arm. Now, this part's off. Let's get the rest of the shifter off. I hope you can see this. We have the engine side of the stock shifter removed, the cross members removed. If you still have it on and you want to get it completely out of the way, a 10mm wrench should be able to unthread it, and then you can remove this section completely. It allows you to take the foot section of the stock shifter and just move it completely out of the way. This should provide access to this little snap ring that you see right here. Hopefully that's in view. Now, we're going to remove the snap ring. A little tidbit: if you get one of these snap ring pliers from like Harbor Freight and it has like the different adapters that you can put on and take off as needed, and you want to keep it from falling off, a little wire tie placed right through the hole will keep it in place. Line up your snap ring, spread the snap ring apart, and hopefully you can see the snap ring is now been removed. This is one of those situations where you definitely want to have safety glasses, because if it pops off, it's going to hurt. Boom, snap ring is off. Now the foot peg section should be completely removed. As you can see, everything is gone here. Alright guys, so we're back on the left side of the motorcycle. The stock shifter has been completely removed, so we have nothing on the foot peg and nothing on the engine shifter pinion. Let's look at this aftermarket shifter I picked up. It's a simple one from Amazon. It has the benefits of a flexible foot peg, so if it should happen to strike the ground, like you lay your bike down, this will flex, minimizing how much energy is transferred to the shift arm, and ultimately minimizing how much is actually making it to your engine. This could bend, and then you have some serious problems. It's easier just to keep energy away from the engine as far as possible. So let's get this on the bike. Has a little hex head, which is finger tight right now. So we'll just remove the hex head. The bolt is out. Let's try to find a nice position on the engine That looks about where it was when it was stock. So I'm just going to finger tight the bolt. With the bolt finger tight in, I'm just going to check for the operation. Seeing if I can move through all the gears. Apologize for the shaky picture, but I want to show you that there is nothing binding as far as moving the shifter down and shifter moving up. You'll find with some aftermarket shifters, the bolt extends past far enough to prevent you from downshifting. So, as you can see, it is free to move. I'm going to put some Loctite on this bolt. So now let's get this shifter ready for permanent installation. Quickly just removing the bolt. A little bit of Loctite. I use the blue type. It's one way you can tell you own a Chinese manufactured motorcycle. You have a good supply of Loctite. Just lining it up. Now comes time to tighten it. This shifter has a 5mm hex head. Feels nice and tight. The idea is to make sure it doesn't vibrate off. Feels solid, guys. As you can see, foot pad flexes. Now the best thing about doing motorcycle upgrades is getting out there and testing these upgrades. I'm going to go for a ride. Let's see how this shifts. If I have a problem with it being too high or too low, I can simply just take the shifter off, move it a little bit in the direction I want, then retighten it with some fresh Loctite, and this will be great. Get back to you on how well this works. I'm back from the test ride, and I will tell you that I'm rather impressed with this upgrade. Not only is the shifter more solid feeling, it also doesn't make any noise while I'm just kind of coasting or riding around. I did notice a big difference with the 1 inch in length. My foot does have to sit a little bit more forward on the foot peg when I go to upshift. However, it's not too much of an inconvenience. In fact, I'm getting used to it rather quickly. So if this was an upgrade you were interested in, I have to say I recommend it. It seems very solid, doesn't make a lot of noise, and it looks good with the extra blue on my motorcycle. Thanks for sticking along. Get out there to ride.